We say that an actor on stage can't die. If the character has to die in the play and they fall over and try to stop breathing, the audience know they're still alive, whereas a puppet is dead from the start and tries to live. So it's almost the opposite picture. And in trying to live, in trying to mimic life, the dead object has a poignancy which no live actor can have. So it's the struggle to live that is poignant and moving about a puppet when it's worked well. So we struggle as hard as we can to make the movement of the puppet as convincing as possible and as imitative of real life as possible, including breathing. Mounting puppets in a gallery situation gives the public a chance to look at the design aspect of the puppet and to see the variety of styles you could pursue when designing a new puppet piece. You can have a close look at the mechanisms, you can have a close look at the structure of the figure. And in this particular exhibition, we've attempted to show some of the process of making. So there are materials and half-finished figures and sketches. You know, you can't actually go into a shop and buy a shirt for a puppet because they don't fit. And also sometimes human clothes restrict the movement of the puppet. So the costumes are designed to move as the puppet is. And that means they have to be made. And in the way that the puppet tries to imitate life, their clothes must also imitate the clothes that people living wear. So in the costumes of representing everyday life, there's a lot of detail. Suits are lined, because an unlined suit doesn't look like a suit. In the sort of more fantastical costumes in the tall horse production, we're talking about early 19th century fashion, which was incredibly detailed. And so although we've hand-printed some of the fabrics with blocks so that we could get the colors we wanted, there's still a lot of piping, a lot of covered buttons, and a lot of lace on ruffles. Primarily, the main detail we work with is movement, so the joints and the movement required are built into the figure. We found that when you imitate the length of the limbs of a chimpanzee, for instance, based on its skeleton, based on its bones, the movement that an arm that length makes when it swings is the movement of a chimpanzee. You recognize that, even though the chimpanzees are covered in pantyhose and have rather obvious plywood bits. I've got a collection of photography books, and I look at photographs a lot. Particularly if you're wanting to make a variety of faces and body shapes. The facial difference and the body shape difference is what the audience see first when the puppet arrives. So you need to be able to make a distinction between the shape of one character and another. I look through all these books, and when a face jumps out and speaks to me emotionally, then I try to incorporate what I feel about it into the actual carving.